gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. If you're just following up the bird feeder with Coach Ant and Fresh, welcome to 6MK versus Kev, where we're going to be talking a little football here right before the Scottish Falcons come on Atlanta Falcon Nation at 3:30. So you're not going to get me too long here. I just want to go ahead and give about 25, 30 minutes of my thoughts, and we're going to do this damn thing the right way. So what they say, this is vice versa. Hey, man, Tony Hall, Jarvis, Keyshawn, what is happening? Want to give a couple minutes for the people to come in so we can do this thing the right way. A137 Sauce. What's up, fam? Sonya. That's another one of family right there. So like I said, just make sure when you come in, you're new to the channel, make sure you hit them buttons on the 6MK Live channel. That's the subscribe and the notifications. As well as make sure you show some love to the family, the Unholy Alliance family. Mad Mike Sports, Jew Talk Sports, Mr. Tactician, OG Big Sam, Mr. Wide Network, OG Truth Hurts. So, let me go ahead and get right into it, man. How is everybody's Saturday so far? And while I'm saying this name, I want to definitely give a shout out, a special shout out to my boy Keyshawn Vlad. Like I said, he's constantly said, if y'all do not follow Keyshawn Vlad on X, definitely make sure you do that. He is aspiring writer, reporter, so he's definitely putting articles out there. So y'all can go ahead and take a look for yourselves. Definitely put that in the community tab so we can start having some discussions on there. So, people, we are 1 day away. Let me repeat, we are 1 day away from the Atlanta Falcons season opener versus the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I want to ask everybody, how excited are you for Atlanta Falcon football season to be beginning? I'll put some red and black in the chat, thumbs up in here if you're ready for this, if you're ready for tomorrow. Like I said, we got Sonya with some red and black in here. We got Southside Diamond, baby. What's going on with you? Let's see. I'm waiting on some more red and black. I'm waiting on more red and black. Like I said, this is the channel of Six Man K Styles. We ain't gonna be doing no goofy ass videos over here, but we're gonna get straight to the talk. All right. So as we know, Tampa Bay, Atlanta, week 1 division game on the Heavy Hitters channel, which is the Heavy Hitters Live channel. We definitely spoke about certain aspects of the game that needs to be of a focus, rather it be the focus of whether the defense is going to be aggressive, rather they're going to be implementing more so of the run game, Kyle Pitts involvement, etc. But as we got some news going into this game, as you heard from Tora McElhaney, your boy Darnell Mooney is going to be questionable for week 1. As well as DeMarco Hellams and Jack Nelson will be ruled out for this particular game. So for a lot of the DeMarco Hellams fans, Most likely, you will not see him in this game. So if you're gonna be sitting here bitching, moaning, and crying about it, fuck you. But Tampa's gonna be without Tristan Wirfs as well as Rashad White and a couple others. So that's pretty much the injury report as of now, as far as what the game is going to be. So my thoughts going into this game, and I'm looking at this not as 6-man K Styles, but I'm looking at this as Kevin, the other Kevin. And what am I looking forward to is setting the tone. Now, as we set the tone, what's going on, Mike? Yeah, of course you'll have them big ass hands waving in the chat to make sure somebody saw your ass. Whatever. The biggest thing that we're going to be looking for here is what is going to be the adjustment as far as what is the identity. What's the adjustment to the identity that we are looking for? As we know, in 2024, the Atlanta Falcons were an offensively heavy team, in which offensively they were in the top 10 aspect of things. Despite Kirk Cousins hitting an iceberg in a 5-week span, this offense was still one of the top offenses in the league. But there was a problem that also rose up too in this situation, was that the defense still was looking like shit half the time. And a lot of people are looking at that aspect and saying, are we blaming Jimmy Lake? Do we blame Raheem Morris? Do we just blame the personnel in itself, Terry Fontenot? Whatever. So this is where the brick theory comes into play, aka Jeff Olbrich. Now, if you didn't catch it, if you didn't see the short that I put out, the 5 points to victory, and it goes as follows. Number 1, we must establish the run game. Now, this is the reason why I speak on establishing the run game, is because with Michael Penix actually starting the season as the season opening starting quarterback, you want to make things easy for him. And what I mean by making things easy for him, a quarterback's best friend is the run game. Now, like I said, Caleb McGarry being out is going to change a couple things. Now, Ryan Newsel, Matthew Bergeron, Chris Lindstrom, Jake Matthews are 4 of the continuous offensive linemen that played last year, with a new starter in Elijah Wilkinson. Rather you have a different right tackle or not, you must establish the run game as possible. Now, you might be asking yourself this question. Now, what if Todd Bowles come in with the game plan as they normally do with the first matchup with the Falcons and blitz a lot? This goes into point number 2. Quicken the passing game. Do not force Michael Penix to win the game. And what I mean by forcing him to win the game is you don't have to take a lot of chances when you have a Tampa defense who is weak in the back half of their defense. especially when you have a Todd Bowles who was notoriously known for having defenses that like to blitz a lot, especially in the first matchups with the Falcons. Every everybody knows. Everybody knows Todd Bowles and the mindset. Hold on, I'm doing this thing right quick. But as I'm about to go in here and I'm about to put in a Q&A question for everybody that's watching right now. Let you go ahead and answer that and give me your honest opinion on how you're feeling right now. Because what is going on online right now is what's going on right now online is you have a lot of Falcon fans who are not really confident in this team going into week one for certain reasons. I don't know. Got some guys saying that Michael Penix may not be the quarterback of such and such. Shout out to Bucs, Rays, and Bolts. He's a straight up Tampa fan, but he's also a supporter of the channel, so definitely shout out to him. Ghost Peppers, what's going on? Trauma Lot said running goes hand in hand with big runs for real, and open up play action. And that's going to definitely be a big part of it. But what they're gonna want to do in the passing game is they're gonna want to get, Drake London involved early, as well as Kyle Pitts, and kind of get the ball out quick if they're going to be coming with these A-gap blitzes. If they're going to be coming trying to see if Michael Penix is as cool and calm and collected as right now his reputation is as being a cool, chill guy. Tampa's going to try to force that and see if he's going to panic. If he's going to do that, Kyle Pitts, Drake London are going to be, and not just those two, but Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier are going to be very key instrumental parts into building that rhythm for Michael Penix and also softening up those blitzes to where they're going to have to think twice about calling them. Now, I got another point. Point number 3. Baker Mayfield is definitely one of those guys who has good games and he has bad games. And those games are solely depicted on how much the defenses can frustrate him. As y'all already know, being veterans of this channel so far, y'all know I'm not really a Baker Mayfield fan at all. Fuck him and all that shit. But I'm going to give him his respect for what respect is. The Falcons defense, or the new defensive identity, is going to have to frustrate him early and often. Force him into being a one-dimensional quarterback. Force him into being a guy that has to force it to a Mike Evans. Because also, too, in this game is you have Chris Godwin and McMillan, who are guys that may not be playing here. So he's going to be relying a lot on Mike Evans, Bucky Irvin, Kay Oden. We want Baker Mayfield to try to rely on Mike Evans as much as possible. Because what it does is it's going to make the pass game more pass heavy. Now, these are my opinions. Now, I'm not a football analyst. I'm not a football commentator. I'm just giving my opinions based on what I see as a football fan. This is what 6MK Live is. We are we are not football analysts. We don't portray ourselves to be football analysts. I don't get paid to be a damn analyst. I paid to see what the fuck I see, be a fan of the game, and give you my damn opinion on it. But he said, that's not a nice thing to say. Well, too bad. Trauma Law says, should I start Michael Penix or Joe Burrow? So this is a fantasy football question. Who does Cincinnati play week one? I haven't looked at the full schedule like that. Um, Keyshawn here said, I feel great. Our team is better than theirs. Yeah, I would I say fully better than theirs? Yeah, you can. Yeah, I could see that, but I wouldn't necessarily say we're completely better than them because this is week one football game, and week one football games, as we know historically, it don't matter if you got the better team or not. All the mistakes for a football team come within the first 3 to 4 games. What you want the Falcons to do is to eliminate those said mistakes. Oh, they played the Browns. I thought so. They played the Browns. I probably will start Joe Burrow over Michael Penix. I ain't gonna tell you no lie. Because Joe Burrow probably gonna throw the ball about 60 times in the first game. They ain't got no damn choice. That offense already cost over $120 million in itself. Is Michael Penix better than Joe Burrow? No. No, he's not. Penix has to prove himself for a full. He has to prove himself for a full season, for at least a full season and a half before we come to a conclusion like that. Because regardless on what you think about Joe Burrow has led that team to a Super Bowl. Joe Burrow failed them in 2024, but he's also led them to a Super Bowl appearance. They have playoff games. Penix ain't got there yet. Um, Another point in this game for the Falcons versus Tampa goes back to what I said earlier, which is protecting Michael Penix from the A gap, B gap blitzes. For those that don't know what the A gap, B gap blitz is, that is where I said the three offensive linemen before, Bergeron, Newsel, and Lindstrom are going to be vital for this matchup. Like you said, Newsel is also another one of those guys who is a new starter starting the season. Not necessarily a new starter in general, but we're going to be starting the season with him. And as the tactician himself says, they call him Stump. So he's going to have to be stout in protecting the quarterback because, as we know, with these A gap blitzes, one of the key factors that Tampa Bay has with these A gap blitzes is Vita Vea either being the one tech or the zero tech, which means he's either going to line up on the shoulders of the center or he's going to line up straight up on the center. Ghost Pepper says, I'm looking at Dorless and Rook. These two D tackles were brought in for their versatility and are expected to be key components in the Falcons' pass rotation. And we're going to talk about that here in a little bit too, because looking at the depth chart has some interesting stories in it that I do want to talk about, and that is Rook is the second string behind Brandon Dorless, which we've already discussed throughout the week. Now, you might be asking yourself this question. If Rook Rororo was drafted higher than Brandon Dorless, why is Dorless penciled in as the starting D tackle next to David Onyemata? And Keyshawn here says, if I'm Tampa, I'm putting Hassan Reddick on that right side and testing Elijah Wilkinson. Oh, you can counter that easy. One thing about Hassan Reddick, and this is the reason why Hassan Reddick has bounced from team to team for the last 5 years. He does not play well against the run. He does not play well against the run. So if you want to neutralize Hassan Reddick, you run at Hassan Reddick. Hell, you could neutralize Vita Vea by running at him. Trying to ask, where's David Onyemata? David Onyemata and Brandon Dorless are the two defensive starting tackles. And it makes sense because if y'all paid attention to the preseason side of things and watch how they were using Brandon Dorless is thought of as the most versatile guy outside of Zach Harrison on this defensive line because they lined him at all four spots on the D line, just like Zach Harrison. Southside here said getting off the field on third downs is going to be key against the Bucs for a defense just like last year. And boy, you ain't never lied, because our defense couldn't stop, and they couldn't stop shit last year neither. Even in the Kirk Cousins 509 game, Kirk Cousins and that offense needed every last bit of those 509 yards to beat Tampa. We couldn't run the ball. We couldn't stop shit. But our passing offense is what led us to that victory. We have to change that mentality. Now, the second game last year, you saw it change a little bit where they more so established the run because Tampa didn't blitz as much. This is going to be the key for the big hogs up front. Like I said, Jake Matthews, Matthew Bergeron, Ryan Newsel, Chris Lindstrom, and Elijah Wilkinson. These five guys are going to be the biggest difference between us being able to run the ball or relying on Michael Penix to throw the ball for 40, 50 times. Georgia Texas boy, what's going on? He said, I think the Falcons are about to come out fast in all phases. Thing is, you don't want to do it too fast. Because when you do too fast, you doing too damn much. And when you do too damn much, that's where all the mistakes come in at. And that was the story of the last couple games that we saw. The Thursday night football game and last night's game with the Chargers and the Chiefs. You didn't see a lot of the mistakes, but you saw mistakes that were crucial. And that's what happens when you're thinking too damn fast. Said Mayfield threw 16 interceptions in 2024, and pressure can force poor decisions and lead to more turnovers. And this is the reason why Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, Jalen Walker, and James Pierce were drafted. These are potential playmaker guys that can help force turnovers. Not just Baker Mayfield, but to a lot of quarterbacks. That's one problem we had defensively last year was we were not the three things that our defense last year that was an issue was we couldn't create turnovers, we couldn't get pressure, and we couldn't cover the middle of the field. This is why I'm confident in Divine Diablo, Billy Bowman, Xavier Watts. Like you said, having a Jalen Walker and a James Pierce to be your spot rushers. This is why Leonard Floyd is very crucial. This is why I have more confidence in Caden Ellis like I said, being that blitzing interior linebacker, allowing a Divine Diablo to be more of a cover guy. Because the middle of the getting beat in the middle of the field with linebackers that can't cover worth shit was a problem. Shout out to shout out to Fresh, the Almighty Fresh. Like I said, the Saturday night football, the Saturday night bird feeder. If y'all haven't checked that out, make sure you go subscribe to Coach O'Chain. And also make sure you subscribe to Fresh Football Talks because he's giving commentary on these games as well. So you can get his perspective on things here. So definitely shout out to him. He said, I don't know how to Bucs favor this game. Well, the Bucs are looked at as a favorite in this game for the simple fact that they have won the division the last couple of years. So they're always going to look at the guys that benefited the most, or the guys that have won certain aspects as favorites in the game. I don't see how, me personally, but we're gonna find out. MVM said the NFL and ESPN will glaze us, put some respect on that. I don't need NFL and ESPN to be glazed shit involving Atlanta Falcons. They ain't glazed nothing about the Falcons since 2005. I don't need this shit now. But shout out to MVM 1978. That's one of the channel members of System K Live. That's one of the K Click. So like I said, if you want to be a member of the channel, it is $1.99 to support your boy. That's $1.99. That's about the same price. Same price as the White Owl. So y'all be all right. But don't. Oh, he talking about we can't beat the Falcons. Don't be trying to play no Jedi mind tricks with us over here. We already know what that shit's about. I think that's all I think that's all the points that I do have on this game. But I'm gonna give myself about 15 more minutes. We're gonna definitely do the Q&A portion of this show. So like I said, if any one of y'all got any questions, it could be Falcon related, it could be NFL related, hell, it could be sports related. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and ask it. And while y'all doing that, make sure y'all hit that like button for your boy. And while we're doing that, we're gonna give a shout out to the leaderboards, aka the top fans of today's show. We got Georgia, Texas, boy, Keyshawn Vlad. We got Bucs, Skull Gang. Well, all y'all are really tied, but I don't know. I don't know how that shit works. Uh, as we sitting here waiting on some college football games, so I know a lot of the Georgia fans. I know the Georgia game is coming on right now. I know y'all got Austin P, so that's probably an ass whooping ready to happen. And me being a Tech fan, we got Gardner Webb at 3:30. So these are pretty much some offshoot games for us. Got a couple big games coming up later in the day. Um, okay, so we got Bucks Rams says, do you think this could be a low scoring game or a high scoring game, or will it come down to the wire? This is me personally, me looking at this and looking at the last three matchups. Even like I said, the Falcons have won the last three matchups against Tampa. This is going to come down to the wire. This division game, like I said, division games. It's rare in my lifetime that I've seen like blowouts in division games like that. Well, I take that back. Well, for this aspect, this may be one of those wire games right here. Um, this is gonna be, and I'm looking at this. This is gonna be a game where special teams is gonna be a major part in this. Like you said, the kicking game, the punting game, punt coverage, being able to flip field position and help the starting position for the offense. This is where this game is going to come down to, especially the first game of the year. Let's see. Ghost Pepper asks about Falcons consistently collapse the pocket using high pressure, diverse rush complemented by disguises behind him, and be a long day for Baker. Hey there, all you gotta do is frustrate Baker Mayfield. Frustrate him for one quarter. You gonna see about 2 or 3 turnovers. Cookie Jar said, I think this is gonna be a 27-23 Falcon win. I can definitely see that. Fresh Football Talk said, what round does Haynes King go in? Haynes King, and this is my personal opinion, Haynes King is probably going to go undrafted as a quarterback as of right now because of the simple fact that he's going to be looked at as a gimmick guy. He's basically Taysom Hill. So he'll probably be a late round, at the very highest, maybe 6th, 7th round as of right now. But I don't really see him as being a high round pick as a quarterback until he has a couple of those. If he has to have a few games where he's dominating with his arm and pocket presence and being able to, you know, take over the game with his arm. But as of right now, he's a gimmick. He's a gimmick. I love me some Haynes King. He tough as hell. But the type of quarterback that he is right as of right now, after week 1 in college football, he'll most likely go undrafted. What channel is the UGA game on? I have no clue. I would probably have to ask Mike about that because I know it's on right now. It'll probably be SEC Network most likely. Southside said King looks like a better Riley Leonard than me. Yeah, I can see that. I can definitely see that. But like I said, Haynes King's problem is it's the same thing. I'm gonna say this. Haynes King, if y'all want to know who Haynes King reminds me of, it's Bo Nix at Auburn. It's the same thing. You got good Bo, bad Bo. Good Bo involves him running the football. Bad Bo, some of the passes look like shit. or very inconsistent. But that's all I say about that. Let's see. Do we got any more questions? College football questions? Anything of that nature? And if not, we gonna go ahead and we gonna get up on out of here if I don't see any other questions. So we'll go ahead and get up on out of here. It's 2:37 right now. So for the Bulldogs fans and I'm gonna give y'all the respect. I'm gonna let y'all go ahead and get an opportunity to catch the Bulldogs game on. That's probably coming on now. And oh Lord, Tyson or Mayweather. Oh my God. Neither one of them motherfuckers. Y'all, no. Neither one. But if I had to choose one of the two, it'll probably, like I said, it'll probably be Mayweather. Tyson done smoked too much weed. He's on his Wiz Khalifa side quest right now. So he ain't trying. He looking at this as a pay. Both of them really looking at it as just an extra payday and shit like that. But if Floyd hit him in the gut, you gonna see nothing but weed smoke come out his mouth. You gonna hit him in the gut one time, you just gonna see a puff of a weed cloud come out that motherfucking mouth. But I don't really see it as a serious. I don't really see that as a serious fight anyway. I just like I said, I just look at it as a money grab. Uh, I don't damn know. But we're gonna get up on out of here. Let y'all go ahead and continue college football day. I just want to get this off my chest. Like I said, if you're new to the channel, definitely subscribe to 6MK Live as well as hit the notifications for all notifications, as well as make sure you subscribe to the Heavy Hitters Live where we do our weekly previews for the Atlanta Falcons upcoming matchups. Got some special things going on over there. Hey, man. Till next time, people. We out. Hey, and also, Atlanta Falcon football season starts on Sunday at 1 p.m. So people get your playlist ready, get your food ready, get your drinks ready, get everything ready. Cause this is about to be a party. All right, y'all. I'm out. Deuces.